Hey, it's Kristen here. I wanted to talk today about vaccinations and the coronavirus. Let's face it, none of us are very excited when we hear we need to get a shot. They're uncomfortable. Sometimes we really have a phobia of needles, and many times people are concerned about how they might respond to a vaccine. Regardless of what you think about vaccinations, it is clear that widespread immunization processes, as well as sanitation, housing, nutrition, has drastically improved global health and humankind. At one point in history, smallpox virus killed up to half of the susceptible communities during an epidemic, and measles was almost as bad. One study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association looked at these common illnesses to see how vaccines have improved this. They found specifically 92% fewer cases and 99% fewer deaths related to diphtheria, pertussis, mumps, and tetanus. I remember when I was younger, my mom told me about something that people would do called chickenpox parties. And what this meant is when a child had chickenpox, other moms would bring their kids over to be exposed and play with this young child who was infected with the chickenpox virus. This will create an immune response. However, there's a lot more risk involved with it because you don't know how an individual will respond to the actual illness. Vaccines will provide a similar endpoint as far as creating an antibody response, but in a much safer way. Most vaccines use an inactivated form of the virus or maybe just a piece of the viral capsule in order to create the immune response without creating the infection. This is not a new science, but an improvement in our technology. Just like we expect our cell phones to get better and smarter, we've gone from landlines and corded phones to sliders and flip phones and now smartphones. It is very reasonable and actually expected that we employ new, safer, and better technologies in our immunization process. Since the COVID pandemic hit the world just over a year ago, scientists and researchers from the globe have been collaborating to create safe and effective methods of protecting the population from this new virus. There are mildly different techniques that are employed throughout the world. Currently in the United States, there are two. The Pfizer, BioNTech, or Moderna vaccines use something called mRNA, which is a small piece of genetic material that has been programmed once it gets into the body for the body to create the spike protein that is found on the outer surface of the coronavirus. Two things happen. The body recognizes the spike protein as foreign, as an invader and a potential threat, and creates antibodies against that spike protein. And then the cell breaks down that little piece of RNA into tiny, harmless pieces. Then, if a person comes in contact with the actual coronavirus, when an immune system is intact and working as it should, then the body creates antibodies because it remembers that spike protein, so the foreign invader can protect a person before they even get sick. These vaccines, Moderna and Pfizer, require a booster 3 or 4 weeks after the first one and are only used in people ages 16 or 18 and above. Johnson & Johnson has used a slightly different technique. They have added the gene for the coronavirus spike into a different virus called adenovirus. Adenoviruses are very common causes of the common cold, but this one has been modified so it cannot replicate inside your cells, hence it cannot make you sick. This vaccine only requires 1 dose, but it's going to do the same thing. It's going to expose the body to that spike protein, hence create antibodies to it, so when a person actually comes in contact with the virus, the immune response will take care of it before a person becomes ill. Side effects to any of these vaccines are going to be similar. You'll probably have a sore arm. Some people might have a headache, some fatigue, maybe some chills or some body aches, but most of those symptoms will go away within 24 to 48 hours. The symptoms are not actually caused by the infection. It's caused by your body recognizing that spike protein as a potential threat and creating antibodies to take care of it before you get sick. So having a severe allergic reaction, thus far it has been proven to be extremely rare. However, you may be asked to wait and be observed for about 15 to 30 minutes after getting the vaccine. As the opportunity for the vaccination becomes more and more widespread to the population, I hope that you take advantage of this highly effective and very safe way of protecting yourself and others from this virus. If you have questions, please ask if this is a good option for you.